Hey YouTubers, and welcome to another episode of the Samurai Monkey 42. This is part 5 of my final video on Japanese equipment and weapons used by the Japanese army during World War II. Before I show you guys all these weapons, I wanted to say that all these weapons were used all the way to the end of the war because Japan couldn't provide the soldiers with all the latest weapons during the war. So all these weapons were used in service even though they were created in different times. So I'm going to start with all the carbine rifles. I'm going to start with the Type 30 bolt action rifle. It was put in service in 1987, the 30th year of the Meiji period. This rifle was used and it was created by Colonel Arisaka Nariakira. This rifle was designed with the 6.5 by 50 cartridge, which followed the Type 38. The creation of the Type 38 rifle was adopted by the Imperial Japanese Army in 1905. Also created with a 6.5 by 50 cartridge, but was considered underpowered and it was very non-effective against the enemy. This is one of the most common rifles. There were about 3.5 million produced. After the Type 38, the Type 99 carbine rifle was produced. This rifle had a 7.7 by 58 millimeter cartridge, making it a lot more superior to the predecessor. This was one of the shortest rifle. This rifles were also created in sniper versions. Another weapon was the Type 100 paratrooper rifle. The rifle could be broken into two short sections, making it very easy and compact for very small spaces. And only a few hundred of these were manufactured. Also, the Type 100 submachine gun. Another weapon that the Japanese could use was the Japanese Type 96 and 99 machine guns. The grenades were part of the Japanese equipment. They implemented the Type 97 in 1937. The Type 97 grenade was considered a very unstable with a low explosive power. The Japanese tried to substitute this grenade with the Type 99, which resolved these issues of having a longer delay when exploding. I will now talk about the pistols used by officers, the Type 14 Nambu and the Type 94. They will both fire ammunition of 8 by 22 and will have a magazine that can hold up to 6 to 8 rounds. The Type 14 was designed in 1902, also called the Grandpa Nambu. They built about a little over 40,000, Type A, Type B, Type 14. The pistol was designed by Kijiro Nambu. The Type 94 was developed in 1935. They had a lighter weight design, but the pistol could be fired unintentionally before the breech was fully locked, or the pistol was improperly handled. Another pistol the officers could carry was the Hamada 1910, would also have the rounds of 8 by 22 millimeters, like the Nambu. It could also carry 96 rounds in the magazine, depending on the design. Another gun an officer could carry was the Type 26, which was the first revolver developed by the Japanese in 1893, but ended up in service during World War II, as officers were required to purchase a gun at the time. Okay, and now is the weapon that we all know Japanese for, is the katana, which has a more spiritual meaning for the soldiers at the time. After having a descendants of samurais in the Bushido-ko, the Type 94 Shingonto sword, which meant new sword, was developed in 1934. The Shingonto was styled after the traditional Tachi Kamakura period in 1185 and 1332. The ranks were indicated by color tassels tied to the suture loop at the end of the hilt. The colors were brown, red, and gold for generals, brown, red for field officers, brown and blue for company or warrant officers, brown for sergeants. The blades found in the swords range from modern machine-made blades to traditional to all ancestral family blades. The Type 98 was later developed to minimize the supply of metal, but only had minor differences. Some of the final swords were produced with cheap copper and blackened iron fittings. Another sword was the Type 95 NCO sword, designed for non-commissioned officers. It was designed to resemble the Shingonto, but cheaper to be massively produced during the time. All swords had machine-made blades. By 1945, a simplified NCO sword was being produced with wooden hilt and a scabbard made out of wood instead of metal. Well, this is the end of this video. I'm really hoping you guys enjoy watching this video. It was a lot of information, but I hope you guys learned a little bit about the Japanese equipment and the weapons used by the Army during World War II. If you like my videos, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching.